Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. We are continuing our review of Operation Monster Force Series 1. So far, they have been fantastic. This is the third figure in the line, the Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper. Which yesterday, the first one I reviewed was Declan Van Helsing, which I recommend everybody check that one out because I got way more into detail about the first figure from a new line. The rest of these were kind of going forward with, well, we've seen certain things about the line. Now we're going to look at the characters more individually. And I think this review might actually be the shortest one so far because I believe it's just a straight up repaint of yesterday's figure, which is fine because as of now, I'm all in on this line. So let's take a look. I love, the packaging is very nice and classy. So this has the same comic as that one, which is just sort of affirming, yes, this is a repaint. And it is totally a repaint. So let's open it up and take a look at the differences between yesterday's standard Delta Red and today's Nocturnal Operations Trooper. Which, by the way, these are the foot soldiers of the good guys. In this mythology, Dracula is a good guy. And the Forgotten King is the bad guy. I'm not getting too deep into the story of these. We're really just here to look and decide if they're cool action figures. And so far, it has been resoundingly positive that yes, they're amazing action figures. When something I forgot to mention yesterday, because I did talk about it in the Declan Van Helsing review, is the accessories are all sturdy. They're all rigid. They're not gummy or warped in any way, which is kind of a big deal these days, right? So let's put all of those accessories off to the side and take a look. We'll go ahead and do a side-by-side. Let me take this guy off of this stand. So you can see, same figure. This is an extra piece that we'll take a look at in a minute. But this one has a beautiful urban camo or night camo, whatever, deco. It looks like it's too dark to be urban camo. Nocturnal camo. And then some differences in the paint, obviously. But yeah, just straight up repaint, which again is fine. Because this line is absolutely based around troop building. There are 3 alternate heads with the regular Delta Red. And this one has 3 alternate heads as well. So, but that is an interesting new piece. Oh, okay. It's not completely just a repaint. But before we get to that, I'll just mention the same thing I've mentioned in the other reviews, is that the plastic on these is solid. The joints, there we go. The joints move nicely. The paint is just incredible. Sorry, I gotta get up and grab something over here. I hope the fan doesn't add too much background noise. Sometimes I have it running, sometimes I don't. But it got a little warm down here in the Phantom Zone. But the thoroughness of the paint on these is just unbelievable. The sheer amount of paint apps on these figures. It's just, I don't think I've ever seen quality like this. So here are the big differences tooling wise between the Nocturnal Operative And this guy's got kind of just standard sleeves, although I do like that piping around the bottom part. And then our Nocturnal guy has some armor gauntlet doodads going on. So there are some tooling differences there. Otherwise, this is the same. The same modular vest where all of these pieces can be pulled off and replaced with the accessories that we'll take a look at in a minute. And they are that sort of peg system that we're familiar with from other lines through the years. Some of them have been easier to get in and out than others. Just really solid feeling figures. And the ratcheting parts tend to ratchet correctly. Some other companies, the ratcheting parts don't seem to land in the right spot for the figure to stay standing upright. Whereas these, so far my experience with them has been that when you hit a ratchet, it ends up where you want it to be. And again, for more detail about the articulation and other sort of line-wide aspects of the figure, I encourage everyone to go check out that Declan Van Helsing review. That's where I got my first look at the first figure in the line. So here is just a phenomenal looking figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. I told you these were going to go a lot faster. That Declan Van Helsing went about 35 minutes. And it was a lot. As we go through the line and find more shared parts and more commonality, these will get to be to the point where they're like classified or Marvel Legends reviews. No, this is just Delta Red again. They didn't put the Nocturnal aspect on there, which is fine by me. Because this is still a Delta Red Trooper. Oh, so we didn't take a look at, we've got the heavy combat helmet, which I believe I will use on this one. I didn't use it on the standard operative, but I think I'm going to put it on this guy. So great. And I like this. There's a swappable visor that we'll take a look at in a second if you didn't see it in yesterday's review. But this one is, that's killer. Come on. Just look at the detail on that. That's fantastic. Oh, the bullet holes. I didn't notice. There's a lot to take in with these figures. There is the standard issue assault blaster, we're going to call it. Oh, this one's got some paint slop. So in the other ones, that silver bullet has been precisely painted. This one, the silver, kind of got all over the magazine, but I don't even, whatever. It's not an issue to me. Really nicely painted. Tons of detail. Lots of swappable hands. Obviously, we need to go ahead and swap out. Put a trigger finger hand on this fellow. And then I think I'm going to throw a gesturing hand on the other side, just for fun. And the parts all swap out so nicely. They're in there very, very securely, no struggling whatsoever. Excellent. And then this is the other alternate look, which is painted quite differently from the standard Delta Red. Look at that. Look at that detail. Just incredible. That's pretty killer. This one's kind of tempting as a Nocturnal soldier. That's almost better than this one. That's going to be a tough call. I don't know which one I want to go with. All right, while I'm thinking about that, let's take a look at the rest of the accessories, because each of these figures comes with an additional huge bag of accessories. First, we've got blast effects, which all of them come with the same 4 blast effects. They look great and fit well with the weapons. We've already tested that. Everything works nicely there. We've got the thigh mounts that I think I'm going to really load this guy up. I'm looking at my standard. Oh, and it seems like those thigh mounts are not going to go over these knee pads, but they do. I've got my standard Delta guy that I'm going to keep a little lighter. Like, he is in my head for the time being Declan's right-hand man, right-hand vampire. And this guy is just going to be a more bulked up soldier, which, as I'm putting him together, I realize maybe isn't as good a plan, because he's got all this beautiful camo deco that I don't want to cover up. But I guess I'm going to, for the purposes of this review. So that piece slides into place there, and it is nice and snug, and it stays put. And then you put whatever you want on there. Because I haven't done it yet, I'm going to throw a pouch on there. Because why not? I wonder if it's better, if I could get it in a little more snug, if I put this on before I put it on his thigh. Yeah. Okay. So there's a little pro tip. Put the piece on before you get it real snug on that thigh. So I'm going to give him the holster over here. See, look at that. That pops right in and sits pretty flush. And I had an issue with that with Van Helsing, where it didn't want to go all the way in because it was so tight on that plastic. It didn't have a lot of give. All right. So we've got that in place. Oh, but see, it kind of popped it back out a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're back in. It comes with 2 different hand blasters with different colors, but also highlighted in different places from the ones that came with Declan and the other Delta Red. So far, the accessory loadouts are the same across the board, but I'm fine because there's so much customization here. It's not a problem. So just like I did with the other ones, I'm going to give him the larger blaster. Goes right in the holster there. Good to go. I'm just leaving. I don't want to give him one pouch. That seems silly. I'm going to put that knife sheath on this other one. Got that in there. Yeah, this guy is going to be loaded down. He is sent out solo at night, so he needs everything that he needs. He is a singular, because believe me, I am not troop building these guys. There is just too much to collect right now. As much as I would love to, and as great as this line is so far, no troop building for me. I'm going to have to slide that around a little bit more to get it in place, but you get the idea. The accessories here do stick out a little far. It's just a result of the way that this modular system works. But like, that sheath is sticking out a little far for my taste. I'm going to pop that out, put that on his back like I did with Van Helsing. And then we've got the third repaint of this knife, which is very different from the other 2. I'm just going to stick that back there. And maybe we'll just stick some grenades over here. They still stick out really far, but we'll deal with it for now. And then additionally, there is a satellite phone, which now I'm convinced that, because my Van Helsing did not have that blue screen painted on his, so I'm convinced that that's an error. I am going to stick his satellite phone in this magazine. That doesn't look right, though, does it? That looks weird. I don't like it. And then I'm going to put these heavy shoulder. Oh, he did not come with the elbow pads that the other Delta Red came with. So that's interesting. So yeah, this guy's getting the heavy stuff. And I think this is a really cool look because the red, the red on the helmet with the red on the shoulder pauldrons really complements and gives this guy a more complete look. This works much better with him than it did with the non-Nocturnal Delta Red. Although I got to think these guys are all Nocturnal, right? So that's... Oh, no, that's interesting, too. He came with 2 of that situation. And then this is the alternate visor that you can see. This pops off. You swap out the visor, and this one actually fits directly over that. So it's like a blast shield. But I'm sticking with this one. All right. I think our Nocturnal guy is good to go. I do wish we had a different blaster for him than the standard Delta Red, but also I get it. We are really early in the line, and parts reuse is going to be critical for the continuation here. So, and look, if you don't have a ton of 1/12 scale weapons just laying around, now granted most of them don't look this good, but oh my gosh. Look at that. I love it. I love this line. This color palette that they use for this guy is tremendous. Like I said, the Declan Van Helsing is going to show you a lot more of the detail. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little swap out here. Since that magazine had a little paint slop, if you can see, this one nailed it. So we're just going to swap those out just so the good one is in the blaster. There you go. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.